think I covered it all, y'all. Wow, ain't nobody got time for that. Hey guys. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Hey guys, welcome back to Nails for Newbies. I know last week the title was a little bit different, but I found out that there were copyright issues or trademark issues. So to cover my own behind, we have changed the name until I hopefully, cross your fingers, get permission to use the term for dummies. But anyways, getting back into the topic of today's video, we are going to go over base coat, we are going to go over different finishes of polish, and then we are going to end with top coat. I'm going to show you how to apply polish, where to apply it, and then base coat, top coat, all of that stuff. We're going to cover that today. So instead of a whole bunch of blabbing, let's go ahead and get right into it so we are not here for 30 minutes. Okay, base coat, the one that I am showing you right now is Overly Attached by Stash Polish. This is one of my favorite tacky base coats. There are many different kinds of base coats, tacky finishes, stain fighting, all sorts of stuff. You need to find the one that works best for you. My favorite and the one that performs the best on my nail might not do the same to yours. So this is very, very personal. As far as application is concerned for a base coat with any kind of base coat that you choose to go with, all you really need to focus on are three things. One, make sure that your application is very thin. You don't want a big, thick layer of base coat. Two, make sure you are getting that base coat as far back against your cuticle as you possibly can. This will help with the application or the proper application of top coat later on down the road. And then always, 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 I can't stress that enough, remember to wrap your tips. This will elongate the wear of your polish. It will keep it from chipping for a longer period of time, and it's just all around. On to finishes. We are going to talk about the cream polish first. This is a cream base. For the purposes of what we're looking at right now, there's nothing added into it. It is just one pigmented creamy base. These are found legitimately anywhere and are typically opaque in 1 to 2 coats. There are some formulations that require 3, but I will not do more than 3 coats of a cream polish on my nail. They are meant to be opaque, they are meant to be pigmented, and if you have to do more than 2 to 3 coats to bring them up to full opacity, then in my opinion, they're not worth the effort. Moving on to the next finish, this is a shimmer formulation that Blush has. This is probably my favorite shimmer formulation. I'm not a huge fan of shimmers just in general. They tend to be streaky on the nail, like the finished look is streaky, and I don't like that. But the formulation that Blush Lockers has created with their shimmers is gorgeous. Instead of being overly shimmery, it just gives a flash of color, which I hope you are being able to see in the video that I'm showing you now. Again, apply it the same way you would a cream, 1 to maybe 3 coats for full opacity. Moving on to a different sort of base. This is a jelly finish. These are meant to be sheer polishes. I mean, you can build them up to full opacity, but they are meant to be sheer. They are great for lead lighting, which we will get into later. But the finish on these is kind of bouncy and kind of squishy, kind of jelly-like, which can be very, very useful. Not my favorite to apply as a base polish, but with this sort of formulation, you can't mess up the application no matter what you do. Moving on, this is where it gets a little tricky. This is a Crelly formulation here. It is a mix between a cream finish and a jelly finish, if that makes sense. It has the opacity of a cream formulation, but it has the bounce and the slight tackiness that a jelly formulation has, which makes it perfect, absolute perfection for suspending all of the glitters that you are looking at right now. I mean, there are Crelly formulations without any glitter in them whatsoever, but they are perfection for this sort of polish. You do have to be careful with application. Apply them in very thin coats or else they will get thick and chunky quick. Next up, we have a glitter polish. Glitter polish is typically in a clear base and it is packed full of glitter. What you're looking at right now is a pretty small holographic glitter polish, and it's from Drip Drop Nail Paint. You can have one size glitter like you're seeing here. You can have a bajillion different sizes of glitters packed into these. The best way to apply this polish is in one thin coat on your nails and then grab a sponge and then sponge it directly onto your nail. If you try to make it fully opaque in layering it up on your nails, you are going to be taking a trip up polish mountain that will literally never end. Next up is probably a lot of people's favorite. Simply Nailogical has made this one super famous. This is a holographic polish. The difference between what I just showed you in the glitter and what you're looking at right now is that a holographic glitter is just that. It is a glitter in a polish base, if that makes sense. A holographic nail polish uses holographic pigment. These can be applied the same way as a cream formulation can be, 1 to 2 coats, and they are opaque. They are super easy to apply. They are super easy to take off, but it burst with rainbow. I'm going to try to insert a scattered holographic picture and a linear holographic just for comparison's sake. Next up, last but not least, I saved this one. This is my favorite finish currently. This is a flaky, and I am really sorry for the quality of this video you guys are seeing right now. It is like doom and gloom central. But a flaky polish is either an acrylic base or a jelly base, and it is either packed full with glitter and flakes or just flakes, but they are just so cool. They can be tricky to apply, just like acrylic. You need to apply them in very thin coats. It could take 3 to 4 coats to get them fully opaque if applied correctly. Moving on to top coat. I'm going to show you how to top coat and apply polish here in a second, but I wanted to talk about glossy top coats. The purpose of the glossy top coat is not only to add a glossy shine, but it is meant to protect the base polish underneath it. That's what they're good for, that's what they were made for, and they do their job very well. Another type of top coat is a matte top coat. These are not made to be protective. They do not really put that protective barrier between smacking your hands on the table the way that a glossy top coat does. These just add a matte finish to the nail. Okay, polish application. I didn't show you this particular polish that I'm using, but it is a cream base with some shimmer in it from Sweet and Sour Lacquer. It is also a gorgeous shimmery polish. It's basically the same idea that you want to do with your base coat, except for when you are putting it down by your cuticle, make sure just a hair of that base coat is poking out the back closest to your cuticle, and then drag it all the way up your nail, and don't forget to wrap your tips. Moving on to your top coat, this is where that base coat peeking out is going to be so incredibly important. You want your top coat to go behind your nail polish and adhere to that little bit of base coat that is still peeking out. That is why you see a lot of, like on Instagram and on YouTube, the finished look has that gap between the cuticle and the nail polish itself. It is because the top coat adhering to your base coat will completely encapsulate your polish, making it it'll make the wear much longer, if that makes sense. It'll keep it protected for longer. It'll keep it from lifting off the back of your nail. The same way kind of that wrapping your tips will keep your nail polish from chipping. But I think that's it. Anyway, I think that's it. I think I've covered everything as far as nail polish basics. Again, this is basic information to get you started, and I am super excited to start getting into the fun stuff. Make sure to leave your comments down below on what other videos you want to see coming up pertaining to nail art when it comes to nails for newbies, hopefully soon to be nail for dummies. Cross your fingers, guys. But let me know. I really love your feedback. I love hearing what you guys want to see. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think this is an awful idea? Let me know, please. But that's all I've got today. I think this video is very long the way it is. We covered a lot of information, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.